Good day, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on WCNC Plus. So our winter weather impacts have actually crept a little bit further off towards the north. Yet again, it's the I-85 dividing line here that we have a very low to insignificant chance, but really they start to come up a little bit through Columbia, even parts of Union over to Anson, Richmond, Chesterfield County under that low range, but a medium to a high along the Carolina shoreline. And that's where we have the biggest deals as far as our snow potential. And we have a winter weather advisory that also officially came up a little bit further north that now includes Gaston, Mecklenburg, and Cabarrus County, all of our South Carolina counties as well. And to name the same as I just mentioned, Union, Richmond, and Anson County. That starts at 4 p.m. and goes until 9 a.m. tomorrow. Now, the main reason why is we have a chance for a dusting of snow, anywhere from nothing at all to a trace to a coating of snow. I think that we avoid the inch mark. I think that would be a little bit closer down towards the south, say around Chesterfield, but you could have a light snow accumulation. That's why they were out treating the roads already. And here's where it all originates from. It's really south of this line. You can see that cuts directly through Charlotte that we're going to be able to see that snow. And the reason why we have this type of setup is that north of this low pressure system, notice how far south it is. That's where things are changing over to snow. And it's usually around 100 miles that you have the heaviest snow north of a low pressure system. In this case and scenario, because it's a little bit more different, you have more moisture with that. It's so far south that it's just barely making it into the Carolinas. So that's why it's an issue between Charlotte to Charleston about how much snow we're truly going to see. I think it's during the late afternoon heading into the evening that is where we see most of the snowfall. And then we actually have one guy putting up the Heisman. That's going to be this cold front trying to push everything further off towards the east. But that doesn't save Charleston and the South Carolina and North Carolina coastline. They're under the gun as far as that heavier band of snow. It's whenever you get just north of that rain snow line that starts to fully snow, that has the most moisture, and that can sometimes lead to the heaviest snow rates. And I think that Charleston and areas just around there up to Myrtle Beach, you're going to get pummeled. And even a historic snowfall is going to come with this system that everything's lining up perfectly for you, but then not so much around Charlotte. This is some of the most recent model runs showing 5.5 inches in Wilmington, 5.9 here in Charleston. I think it's a good bet for 3 to 4 inches, but these are some extreme values. Meanwhile, you look around Charlotte, that dusting literally can only be 0.2. So not everyone's going to see that. Nothing super exciting. The last event that we had was literally only 0.3 inches of snow around Charlotte Douglas International Airport. So temper expectations, but it still could be a little dicey for your evening commute. Around 1.6 inches possible around Columbia. But I want to talk about the historic event that could possibly be taking place here in Charleston. Now, regardless, the last time they even had any significant snowfall was January 3rd, 2018. So it's been a little bit. Now, 7 years into 2025, we are looking at a shot of at least making the top 5. And there's only been 5 events, and you're looking at them right here, that we've actually had over 3 inches of snow around Charleston. The main reason why is that low pressure system. It's so far down towards the south that you have just enough of that cold air that's already in place that we see snow there, and then not so much close to the Charlotte area. Now, if we move this thing 100 miles north, we're talking about big time snow here in Charlotte, but that's not the case. Instead, we're really talking about the cold here with a chance for some flurries, but hey, flurries can still add up. Highs today right around 31, 32 degrees. This is a good shot that we're going to be below freezing for a full 24 to 48 hours. And the flurry window really, I think, opens up around 4 o'clock. If we see any snow showers, it's mainly going to be, I think, really between about 4 and 8 o'clock. Flurries could still be flying, so it might look pretty, but then that could still stick to the roads if they aren't treated. But luckily, the NCDOT has done a great job. You can visibly see where they put some of that brine solution on at least our major interstates. So here's what I'm talking about. I think you could have a burst of snow. Now, what this is literally out of nowhere, it could start snowing, and then all of a sudden, it's a heavy snow shower. You're seeing these little fingerlings move through between about 4 and 7 o'clock. That's the only thing that could bust the forecast is from place to place. I think you still see a dusting of snow, but some areas could maybe have up to a ½ inch plus if those do line up. Now, the further south and southeast you go, this is definitely going to be a better situation, but as you can see, it's just at most just some flurries flying around the Charlotte area, and we're even looking at some clearing for our cloud cover as we work our way through the overnight. Eventually, we're actually going to be seeing more sunshine again by tomorrow. But it's going to be dangerously cold right here in the areas of pink. They're under an extreme cold warning because those wind chills could be 10 below zero to 20 below zero is the range. And if you look across most of the continental United States, that blue and pink represent a cold weather advisory or an extreme cold warning. So pretty much a majority of the U.S. is well below normal than what they usually see for a typical winter. Now for us, the Charlotte area, we could have single-digit wind chills. That's when we pop up a cold advisory. So check out our wind chills. Feeling like 29 degrees by 5 p.m. We really start to feel the effects down into the teens as we work our way to the early morning hours. Look at that -9 around Boone. And then once you get to about 8 o'clock, yeah, 7 degrees. So if the kids do have to go to school, it's going to be a very cold bus stop or anything you have to do earlier in the morning. Feeling like 5 to 10 degrees, so keep that in mind, and negative values up in the mountains. And our wind chills as we work our way through the afternoon back to the mid-20s, which still isn't great. This morning we dropped down to 20 degrees. That ties December 7th for the coldest low so far this season. Of course, in meteorology, we talk about December, January, and February as our winter record keeping. So we're past the halfway point, at least in the meteorological world. It's not until Groundhog Day on the 2nd that we're officially at the midpoint of winter. But I think we're going to exceed this overnight tonight. I have a low of 17 degrees, a low of 4 degrees in Boone, and then 13 degrees in Hickory. I think that we drop down to 17, 16 degrees over the next couple mornings, so that'll be the 1 and 2 spot. And the coldest temperature we had since last January, before we're back to the balmy 21 and 22 heading into the weekend. But I want to show you some optimism. We got to end on a good note, right? This literally could be our only shot at snow in the Charlotte area for quite some time again, because we are starting to see our temperatures come up. Now, we could see some things start to combine if they do come through the overnight, but notice where our lows go back to that freezing point and slightly above, but our highs are really starting to exceed. That we're going to see a nice mix of the 50s to either side of 50. That's where closer where we should be, and then even jumping up into the mid to, dare I say, the upper 50s and 60 degrees. Is it right around the corner? Well, we'll see, and that's pretty much going to complete the month of January. It's really next Sunday heading into Monday, depending where those temperatures go. That could be our next shot, but then after that, temperatures start trending much warmer direction. So our Guy Roofing 7-day forecast, we're weather aware over the next 3 days for that Arctic blast. Slight chance for snow again to conclude the afternoon. And then after that, sunshine on Wednesday, clouds start to increase on Thursday. And again, we'll keep an eye out on whatever this system's going to do. Right now, temperatures remaining above freezing, so it looks like mainly a rain event for the Charlotte area. But of course, we know this. Weather can change. So stay with us here at WCNC Plus. We're going to continue to stream at the top of every hour, showing you every update that we see coming in. In the meantime, drive safe, be safe, and have a wonderful day.